Derek Kessinger, who joins me over here. And I've done a lot in my career, Suave, but I'm not sure I've ever been more excited to be part of something than I am tonight. And I've said this for a long time. We need more cool stuff in dirt late model racing. Tonight, Derek, is cool. After waiting through 2 rainouts and 2 weather outs, we get to do something special, D-Suave.
I'm nervous, Michael. Not going to lie, I'm nervous. In a good way, though. In a good way. And this is going to be fun. Last year, we did it in the studio for the show with Ray Cook at Tri-County. That was one of my favorite things I've done at Dirt on Dirt and Flow Racing. This is my 10th season. We got an all-star cast, I should say, with you, me, Dustin, Jared, and Ben. Well, almost anyway. We'll call ourselves our all-stars. A great field for a Thursday night at Tyler County. I cannot wait for the bull ring, baby.
Well, and some faithful out there, right? It's about 46 degrees and a little bit rainy right now. So that is the people that are out there right now, Derek, are the super faithful fans without question. So, every night here on Castrol FloRacing Night in America, we will have a 30-minute pre-race show, which we are in right now, leading up to our toss to the racetrack, where Ben Shelton and Dustin Jarrett will call the night's action. And, of course, we'll lay out everything that you could expect to see during that time on any given night. Like I said, back in March, Derek, we had 2 weather routes.
Ugh.
First at 411 Motor Speedway in Tennessee,
Sad.
and then the next week at Tri-City Speedway near St. Louis on the Illinois side of the river, but both literally by a day. It was great weather on either side of those, which totally sucked. Tonight, Derek, we launch in the great state of West Virginia at John and Cody Watson's legendary Tyler County Speedway. When it's right, it's capable of being one of the best places in the country. I'm glad we're at Tyler County, Derek, to start tonight.
Well, I mean, if you like 3-wide racing and slide jobs and that's your thing, then you're absolutely going to love the bull ring. It's a perfect place to kick off Flow Racing Night in America. You got 3 of the top 4 drivers in the Dirt on Dirt top 25 poll: Jonathan Davenport, Hudson O'Neal, and Devin Moran. Oh, and we have this one guy, surprise guest coming up. I mean, he's decent. Kyle Larson making a surprise appearance. Oh, you also have West Virginia's firstborn son, Josh Richards. Could be a favorite here tonight. It is going to be action-packed. We're going to have sliders. It might be a little dusty, but it's going to be a showcase.
I told you that we would lay the night out, so let's do that now. Kind of what we can expect and what we've got the remainder of the night. Let's start. Kane Runyon is pulling the switches for us here in the studio all night long. Let's start with the order of events, guys, the 2-page order of events of what we got. We're in the pre-race show now.
That's us.
That's us, yes. The super late model hot laps follow that, the modified hot laps. And said, hey, you guys going to qualify together? Because I'm always bitching about it. I said, should we have? And he said, yeah. So I can't change it for this year, Derek, but next year this 10-race miniseries might hot lap qualify.
I mean, you kind of have pole with this series, you and Ben Shelton. I thought maybe you were going to do that, but not so fast, my friends. We'll do it next year, maybe in 2022.
2022. Let's get one in first before we get to that. Super late model qualifying after that. Then fast track late model hot laps. I think maybe 15 or 20 fast track cars there tonight. Opening ceremonies, super late model heat races, and of course, modified heat races after that. Second page, Kane, looks like this. Super B mains, about 30 cars on the ground, so I would guess just 1 B main tonight. Fast track heats. The features, super late model, modified feature, fast track feature, and the post-race show, which you and I will be right back in here after the studio as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the favorite. That's where everybody tunes in, right? The post-race show, they just stay up, don't go to bed, and hang out with us for a little bit after the races.
Yes, and hopefully not too late tonight, right? Hopefully things.
No.
I think with the 30 cars and the weather sort of in the area, things won't be too bad. So I wanted to mention that driver roster, Derek. You talked about that also. Here are some of the notable guys of the 30 that are in attendance. Kyle Larson, Derek.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. This guy just thinks he can just come over and take over winning these races. I tweeted out earlier, like the little black kid meme. He's like doing the little eye thing, like, oh boy, Kyle Larson in the house. Kind of a surprise late entry here, but nonetheless, Kyle Larson's going to be, is he going to be fast in the bull ring? Quarter mile?
That's the one thing, right? We've had all these Port Royals and Alltex and all this.
Portsmouth, little dustier type racetrack surface.
Right.
He wasn't very good there, but Kevin Rumley might have something dialed in for him, the crew chief.
So we've got Larson, JD, Turbo, Tyler Erb, the West Virginian himself, Tim Dome, Devin Moran, Josh Richards, Mason Ziegler, Tyler Carpenter, Hudson O'Neal, who I am fond of. Discuss that later. And Tanner English, Derek, a solid first screen of names there.
Yeah, like I said earlier, 3 of the top 4 in the Dirt on Dirt top 25 poll in the house. Who Dustin Jarrett told me over the weekend, hasn't won many races there. You think he would at a track that's so close to home, and Tanner English picking up a local back-to-back local wins at Clarksville. How about that?
It's local wins, not the toilet bowl.
I'm saying two local wins.
Yes,
yeah.
Excuse me. Second page of notable entries: the brothers Hawkins, Jared and Jacob, there tonight. Your boy Boom Briggs, Mike Marlar, for driving at Tyler County, which is sort of shocking. Ryan King, Drake Troutman, Steve Casebolt, the local Thomas, and many more. These guys in the second.
Stephen Casebolt, the former Dream winner. I was not expecting him to head out to Tyler County, but he's usually faster. I think he has plenty of laps at that place. I'm going to look at Stephen Casebolt right now.
Jared and Jacob have both had their moments over the years. Both guys obviously good at Eldora. Both guys usually pretty good at Tyler County. What'd you say earlier? Who's Joel Rogers? Is it Joel Rogers?
Cousins. Who's he picking?
Who's he picking tonight?
I know he's in the house. He said he was going to go watch the Rocket House Car team is off until the weekend when they go to Hagerstown and Port Royal. So it's going to be tough for Joel out there who he's going to pick. But I already got, later on, I got one of the Hawkins.
We will also have some special segments all night long. Obviously, you'll be seeing those drivers in action. We'll also have some special segment on top of this pre-race show. You know, if Derek and I are on the air, we will be talking overs and unders and gambling and betting lines. We'll have that we shot all of those at Brick, which you'll be part of, which I'm excited about. Where we tour, I think it's Jonathan Davenport's new S&S hauler tonight, so we'll have a driver interview. Kyle Strickler this later in the show. He's going to be watching from home all night long, so Kyle will join us right before the feature. Help us with some late model
trivia.
No
chance in hell.
What do you think you're just going to get all the questions?
I think so. Probably crazy that I won't even get it right.
And then later on, of course, we'll have the post-race show studio recap where me and you and Kevin Kovac break down. So I'm pumped. We've got a lot coming up in the minutes leading up to the show, and of course during the night as well. Speaking of experts, I mentioned them before, and I'm going to hit them again. I could not be happier and Ben Shelton on board with Castrol with Racing Night in America as the voices, obviously, of the series. And another thing we'll do each and every week during the pre-race show is get a word from these guys. Derek, before we throw it out to them, Ben and DJ, obviously you throw James Essex in that mix, but that's about as good a call combo as it gets.
Yeah, and you're trying to figure out half the time who's who. They always have people trying to get confused and think Dustin Jarrett's Ben Shelton, Ben Shelton's Dustin Jarrett, but you knew when we had this thing put together late last year, earlier this year, that those two guys would be the prime candidates for this job. They're going to be great. They both are very knowledgeable in the sport. They both love it. It's going to be a great, great time with those two. Yeah, they might have a little bit of shenanigans, but all in all, they'll have a fun time.
Do you think when they're walking around Tyler County today that people are they're confusing them as they do at Eldora? Ben gets dogged on for being short, but I think DJ might be shorter, actually.
I don't know. Well, Ben's hair is taller and higher, so he is taller now than DJ.
So you're saying Ben's hair actually makes him a little taller than DJ is what you're saying.
All in all, it doesn't matter about your height. As long as you perform well tonight announcing, fellas, then we don't care.
I thought about something. You said Kyle Larson on the bull ring. I want to circle back for that 15 seconds before we get out to those guys. Larson on a bull ring will be good, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
He's a wheel man. He won at Fairbury. That's a bull ring and a sprint.
All right, guys, we go to Tyler County Speedway now, where my good buddies Ben Shelton and Dustin Jarrett, we're getting ready to head into hot laps. I know there's a little weather in the area. I know it's a little cooler, but it doesn't matter. These guys are ready for tonight. Welcome to the show, boys.
Yeah, we're here at the racetrack tonight. Very excited as we kick off Castrol FloRacing Night in America. Ben Shelton, Dustin Jarrett. And Dustin, you made the comment, and I've seen it in the pit area. This guy's a rock star in the pit area here. Dustin, a home game for you. You go all over the country. A home game, though, and you're here at a place that you've seen a lot of races, and we got a heck of a field.
Man, I love coming to this racetrack. I love coming to Tyler County. Quarter mile, bull ring, elbows up. You never know what's going to happen, and a lot of races aren't decided until the last lap, but you're exactly right. You add in this racetrack with the quality of cars that we have in the pits, not just in the late models, but in the modifieds and the crates as well, and I think we are in for a spectacular opener for Castrol FloRacing Night in America.
$10,000 on the line tonight, and again, a lot of local talent, a lot of regional talent. You got national talent. Of course, you got guys in the pit area like Jonathan Davenport. You got Turbo Tyler Erb down there. Kyle Larson's in the house here tonight. He's going to try and conquer this bull ring for the first time. And I haven't been here in about 7 years, but for Michael and Derek back in the studios, talk about these changes here and what they're missing here at this incredible facility.
Well, it's unbelievable the amount of changes this racetrack has gone through over the course of the last 5 or 6 years. Literally everything except the location of the track has changed. Brand new lighting, brand new press box, brand new suites, brand new aluminum bleachers last year, a new track surface, new banking, an infield drainage system, and a whole lot more. So the Watson family, they have done a lot to this racetrack. What was a fan favorite is now a driver favorite as well because of all the improvements that they've made. So for a lot of guys too, though, Ben, that haven't been here for a few years, and we've talked to a few of them in the pits already, they're saying, man, this is a completely different racetrack from what it was when I raced here just a few years ago. That might be an added wrinkle that maybe gives some of the local drivers maybe a arm up on leg up on the competition, or arm up, either one.
Well, you know, we're looking around. I just came from the pit area from the drivers meeting. Literally got up here just in time to do this.
Yeah.
The pit area, people are flooding into the pits. Good-looking grandstand coming tonight. It's a little bit cool, but man, they rained out here last week. They ran 2 weeks ago. Back in action tonight. The fans are hungry for racing, and what a great place to kick off this mini-series.
Yeah, again, nothing against the other two tracks that we were going to kick this Castrol FloRacing Night in America series off, but I was selfishly excited when Tyler County was going to be the one to host it.
Now, wait a minute. Did you just tell Mitch McCarter at 411 Motor Speedway and Tammy and Kevin Gundaker at Tri-City that you're the reason they rained out?
I am the reason they rained out. I'm sorry. I promise, Mitch. I promise, Tammy, I will make it better with you guys whenever we go to their races. No, I'm selfishly excited we're here because I know what kind of racing the Bull Ring can provide. I know how tough the local and regional drivers are, and I know what kind of field of drivers we have back in the pits, and I think we are in for a spectacular opener for this brand new Castrol-sponsored racing series.
Well, we're going to get ready for hot laps coming up in just a few moments. Right now, we're going to throw it back to Derek and Michael in the studio.
Derek, it's like they've done that a few times. It's like
Every
those
so
two have
often
done
they've
that.
done it a little bit, but yeah, they got some great input and analysis there from Tyler County.
I think those two should cuddle if it gets too cold tonight. They should.
It
They
looks
should
like they're
swaddle
not.
each other and cuddle if necessary.
Yeah, I
tonight.
mean,
So,
whatever they're into, it doesn't bother me.
we're going to take our first set of commercial breaks. We're going to come back on the other side with gambling. We're going to have Todd Turner in the studio. Derek and I will have our final thoughts before we throw it out for hot laps and qualifying. And we got a lot more coming up in the next 20 minutes. We are live from the FloRacing Studios for the opening night of Castrol's FloRacing Night in America. Back after this.
Dirt Track Fantasy Racing is here with Dirt Draft. With action from the hottest drivers across all major dirt series, put your knowledge to the test with Dirt Draft. Sign up, draft your team, and redeem points for hundreds of different prizes. And for the first time ever, you can be crowned an official series fantasy champion. You can't play all season if you don't play today. To play, just go to dirtdraft.com or download the Dirt Draft app today. Become a fantasy racing champion.
Strength, power, muscle. The car's not bad either. With Castrol Edge, you've got the strength to unlock maximum performance. The muscle car meet, you'll crush it. Castrol Edge in, Garage Swagger on.
Gear up to win with Buzzy Racing. With over 40 years of experience in motorsports and countless victories, Buzzy Racing provides teams with superior drivetrain sales and service. Whether you need assistance with transmissions, gears, axles, brakes, steering, drive shafts, or differentials, we have you covered. Family owned and operated, Buzzy Racing is dedicated to our customers on track success. What are you waiting for? Visit us at buzzyracing.com to learn more.
Hero, rock star, dad, whatever they call you. Get your garage swagger on, Doug, and protect your engine with Castrol GTX Magnatech. Castrol GTX Magnatech in, garage swagger on.
Welcome back to Castrol FloRacing Night in America inside our Bloomington, Illinois studios. And I hate to use the word degenerate, Derek. That seems a little bit overused. But it was just tossed around the studio a little bit ago to describe Derek and I's feelings about the world of sports gambling. I can tell you flat out, I did not have a good NCAA tournament. I can tell you that. In fact, it was a really bad NCAA tournament. But I think I can turn my luck around tonight. Each and every night, our gambling segment on the show will be brought to you by Dirt Draft. Kane, go ahead and throw that Dirt Draft full screen up there. It's the official fantasy dirt track racing provider of Castrol FloRacing Night in America. Get to Dirt Draft now. Head to the app on your phone and set your lineup. A couple things to remember. The guys at Dirt Draft are doing a series fantasy champion. The winner, Derek's going to get a kick-ass trophy with this. The top 100 in the last 10 races when this is over receive bonus points and some other goodies tossed in there as well. So don't forget, the official gambling segment sponsor is our friends at Dirt Draft. So here's how it's going to work with Derek and I each week. Every night, Derek and I on the pre-race show will have 5 bets, okay? 5 bets total between Swab and I, $50 each. We will keep tabs on them throughout the year. And at the end of the year, after the October 20th race at Volunteer, these bets will be paid out. We'll pay out who owes who what, Derek, at the end of the year, October 20th. And these bets are all either or, most of them choosing between 2 drivers, right, as predetermined by Derek and the rest of our staff, okay? So let's get started with bet number 1. Bet number 1 every week will be a qualifying bet. Who will be the faster qualifier, this guy or this guy? This week it is Kyle Larson and Devin Moran. Derek's got Larson. I think Devin Moran, a lot of experience at Tyler County, is going to be better, Suave.
Oh, my, we don't care. I was just punking you there. I didn't want you to pick Larson or even think about him. I was trying to degrade him a little bit. But, yeah, Kyle Larson's always fast in qualifying. I think he's going to get her done. $50 for Richard right off the bat.
So there's a $50 bet. Our next bet is the superstar bet. Superstar drivers in the sport. Who will finish higher? What superstar? JD or Devin Moran? I got Moran again. He's hot right now, fresh off the Bristol victory. You got JD.
Former Hillbilly 100 winner, Jonathan Davenport, #1 ranked driver in the Dirt on Dirt poll. JD's got this all freaking day.
We'll see. A non-superstar bet, a more regional or local guy. This one for 50. And Derek, I love this one. Brother on brother action. You've got Jared Hawkins. I've got Jacob Hawkins. I love this.
Well, Jared Hawkins has raced a few more times than Jacob has the last couple of seasons, but they're both wheelman. I hope they're right next to each other, bumping for us, and I'm going to go Jayhawk, though. Or which one's Jayhawk?
I was going to say, I think Jared
Todd
Hawkins
might know
is
when we get on the phone with him.
Jayhawk, but I've got Jacob Hawkins. Our next bet, the yellow flag bet. This is the one nobody wants, right? From the first green flag of the late model heats all the way through the final checker of the late model feature, late model class only, how many yellows? The over-under set at 8.5. Derek, life's too short to bet the under. You took the over. I think we go under 8.5.
Well, I mean, it's pointless to bet the under. Like in college basketball, college football, you always bet the over. Like you said, life is too short to bet the under. I mean, if I lose this bet, I'm not going to be very mad about it.
Because you'd really rather not have 9 cautions.
I'll take one
tonight,
for the team.
right?
I'll lose 50 each night.
So each week, there's one more to go, but each week we'll have qualifying superstar, non-superstar, yellow flag bet. And the final bet, the winner tonight, who finishes higher will win this bet. Derek's liked native West Virginian Josh Richards. I've got a guy who's been running awfully good this year, Hudson O'Neal. Derek.
West Virginia's firstborn son, as I mentioned earlier, Josh Richards. He won the last big crown jewel race, the Hillbilly 100 in 2019. He's going to be ready to go. He's got plenty of laps there. He loves this track. He likes to get elbows up.
So those are the 5 bets each and every week. Those are our picks this week. We will tally those up at the end of the year. And Derek, Derek, if you lose every week, which you will, 50 bets times 5, that's $250 a week. Times 10, that's $2,500. Derek, you could owe me $2,500 when this is done.
And I saw that you're looking for a pool boy this summer, so if I start losing enough, I will take one for the team and be your pool boy and get that extra cash for you.
We'll do a trade out. Thank you again to our friends at Dirt Draft, the official fantasy provider and gambling segment sponsor of us. We'll keep an eye on those all night, Derek, and if there's time, we'll come back to the studio and evaluate those. A final note on Dirt Draft also, they don't just have our series. They've got Lucas Oil, USAC, the All-Stars, the World of Outlaws, and USMTS as well. So it's a broad spectrum of dirt track racing. Sort of like, Derek, FanDuel meets Dave & Buster's. Is that a fair description?
I would say, yeah.
Okay.
Right,
you're getting like prizes and tickets.
Yeah, I've only won once, and that was at the 2019 Topless 100. So
okay,
Shane and Bab helped me out there, but that's the only time I ever won. I got like 8,000 points. I was checking the shop there earlier. They got some great stuff. You can even, I think there's like hang out with the afternoon with me and you one day.
I might set that one out. If you're gonna do something for the first time in dirt late model racing history, you got to have the greatest journalist in the history of dirt late model racing on each and every pre-race show. For our final preview before we head out to the racetrack, we welcome the one and only Todd Turner, Derek, the dean, the toddler, to the show now. And Todd, I'm gonna ask you the same first question every week. Of course, the name of the track will be different. But Todd, if I just walked up to you and said, Todd, what do you think about Tyler County Speedway? What would Todd Turner's reaction be?
Well, after hearing DJ talk about all the different things that are been there probably since last time I was there, I don't know if I'd recognize it. But one thing I remember the most about racing there is the way, often 3 wide on that little track and the way they fly into the corners. One thing I always notice is like it's one of those places where how they go into 1 or how they go into 3 is not how they come off 2 or 4. It's not a lot of times they're scrambling and you never know what's going to happen. Now, the good nights, you get a mix of guys coming up, mixing up and crossing back and forth, and the outside guy going to the inside. I do remember some races there where guys would fly into the corners, and you would think, man, they are racing all over the place, but it ends up nobody's passing anybody because it's fast, or the guys are also fast or whatever. So it's an interesting place to kind of gauge how they are going into the corners there.
Todd, I've had this idea, and you and I think, talked about this a long time ago, for a midweek late model racing series since you and I started this website back in 2007. Obviously, it took me a while to figure it out. 14 years later, but you look at the field we have tonight, and Dustin Jarrett said, despite it being 46 and cloudy, the crowd is pretty good. The drivers have come, the fans have come. Are you surprised this is working as well as it seems to? Now, granted, let's get one race under our belt before we spike the football, but it seems like people have taken to this.
Yeah, not surprised, and also glad that you decided to start Dirt on Dirt before you started the series. Otherwise, I would have been looking for something to do the last dozen years or so. But no, not surprised. It's particularly the way you built the anticipation. I really like the way you kind of like acted like you were going to have some earlier races, and you just kept building and building. So finally, we get to the third one, and we're going to have it here. But it has all those components that like you were thinking about that would be fun. The midweek stuff. Big purses that are attractive to guys, and it turns out to be a season where it seems like races are popping up everywhere. Why not in the middle of the week? Plus, you all got that point fund there that makes this a legitimate thing that guys can look at and think, man, that's something I can invest 7 or 8 or 9 nights in and make some money. It should be a lot of fun. All these tracks, I think I've only not been to one of them. A great roster of tracks, and it'll be fun to watch Tyler County kick it off.
Hey, Todd Suave here. Huge fan of you. Just to give you that right there to start off. But I got Josh Richards. He's got Hudson O'Neal. Who you thinking tonight?
I'm feeling Devin Moran. We'll see how it goes, but I mean, I'm a little, I feel a little bad because I don't know if y'all noticed on the top 25 this year at the preseason, we didn't have Moran in it. Now he's up in there in the top 5 the last couple of weeks and winning the big race at Bristol, and so yeah, I look for him to be right there tonight, and did it on the big track last weekend, and then this week he'll see what he can do at Tyler County.
Todd, got about a minute and a half left before we wrap up and get out for hot laps. Give me some of those that only you can do, keen Todd Turner observations about tonight, things that maybe the folks at home should be watching for as we head into Tyler County.
I don't know if I have any great insights that people aren't already looking at, except what a stacked field. I mean, we're looking right at 30 cars, but you look at the roster, I mean, you're like, oh my goodness, I don't want to run into those guys. If there was a 10-car field there, I've seen 10 cars that are tough to deal with. I'm still having fun watching the Kyle Larson situation. And
it's still going.
And it's fun to watch him run and fun to watch him frustrate those other late model guys. So it'll be interesting to see what he does there tonight. There was one time I remember being at Tyler County. I wanted to throw this story in there. The 2009 Hillbilly 100 at Tyler County, probably the most memorable time I've been there, because I was there for about 35 minutes, it seemed like. They rained out the night before, and they had to make up the race on Sunday or Monday afternoon, I guess it was. And we all roll in there. Hardly anybody's there. They throw the green, they throw the checker, and we all roll out of there. It's crazy. Hopefully they'll be there a little while longer tonight and have a few more laps. But lots of memories from Tyler County.
Todd, thank you so much. You will be on each and every week during the pre-race show. We appreciate it, and you'll be back. I think next week. I guess less than a week, Derek. It's 6 days until Atomic next week. So thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Okay.
I'll be ready. Thanks.
The headset, by the way, he was wearing, Derek. How about that?
Is he a gamer?
We've got a final few minutes here, Derek, before we get out to Tyler County. Give me your final thoughts.
Well, I'm screwed the way Todd picked Devin Moran to win, because I would lose like 2 or 3 bets. So I think I'm doomed. Other than that, it's gonna be great.
I was gonna say he really helped me out. He picked well. More than anything, I'm just excited, man. 14 years is a long time to have to wait on an idea, but tonight, lots of work, lots of testing, and all of it coming together at the one of the again. I don't use this term lightly. I think Tyler County is a legendary spot in late model racing. It is a known name. We didn't have it on our list this week, Derek, but people know the name Tyler County, don't they?
Yeah, it's the bull ring. It's fast. The World of Outlaws have always gone there. The Hillbilly 100's been there. Lucas Oil goes there. Great facility. Cody Watson and gang making that place nicer and nicer every single year.
I want to hit a couple of thank yous, too, before we get out to Hot Laps. Castrol, I cannot say thanks enough to them for all they're doing to make this possible. This was not a small sponsorship that Castrol put together, so thank you very much to everyone at Castrol. Derek, we wouldn't be here if not for Ray Cook last year, right? In the event at Tri-County. Ray happens to be our series tech man also this year. But we brought late model racing back with Ray Cook last year. We'll be at Racetrack on October 7th later this year at Tri-County. So thank you to Ray for Ray and Chris Tilley and Michael Despain. 1 year ago, about right now, is when we did our first studio incarnation of a show. So I want to say thank you so much to them. And Suave, it just it's hard to believe it's been a year since we did this at Tri-County.
Yeah, April 30th is when we went to Tri-County. Michael Chillen was a household name after taking the back row challenge. That was like one of the most epic things we ever had when people were just calling and donating all this money for that. Shane Clanton got the win. It was great, and it kind of propelled us to do this for 10-race miniseries.
10-race miniseries where let's hope tonight we get in night number 1. Like I said, it's 45 degrees and a little chilly out there right now, but I think we're going to get in tonight. I think that wraps it up from the studio. We will be back in, bouncing in and out all night long periodically during the brief downtimes. And if any weather or red flag delays pop up, you will see Derek and I in the studio again all night long. I think we've got 3 or 4 scheduled pop-ins, and you never know. With weather and everything else, there could be a lot more. But for now, night number 1 ever of Castrol's FloRacing Night in America is live from Tyler County Speedway in Middleburn, West Virginia. Out to Ben and Dustin.
Onto the speedway, and the first driver coming out, the number 37 car out of Fairmont, West Virginia. It's Jacob Hawkins out of Fairmont, West Virginia, the C.J. Johnson Motorsports Durham-powered Rocket XR1, and behind him in car number 49, three-time Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion Jonathan Davenport. the Blairsville, Georgia driver, the Nutrient Ag Solutions, Spartan Mowers, ASC Warranties, number 49.
Behind of him, the driver out of Coolville, Ohio, the third-generation driver of the custom-powered Kryptonite and the Morrison Law Office, Spotsky's Performance Parts, Hoosier Tire by Fry sponsored. Number 10, that is Kyle Bond, and one driver behind of him, the multi-time track champion here at the Tyler County Speedway from just down the road in Middleburn in the Weigel Farms, Roby Excavating, Tom Rogers Racing Engine sponsored. Number 75, ladies and gentlemen, that is Steve Weigel.
Behind him, out of Hindman, Pennsylvania, the talented youngster Drake Troutman. 5 wins on the year for the driver of the Smith Transport, RFI Resources, LaSalle Powered, MB Customs. Number 7, as it is coming to life here tonight, Dustin. A cool evening, but we got a heck of a field, and a fan favorite makes his way to the racetrack.
2 other drivers on the track, one rolling down the front straightaway in the Dome Cycle Shop, Longhorn number 6T. That's the showstopper out of Cross Lanes, West Virginia, Tim Dome. And your runner-up here on opening night in the middle of turns 3 and 4 in the C.J. Johnson Motorsports, Middletown Homes, J&J Farm sponsored. Number 37 out of Fairmont, West Virginia. That's Jacob Hawkins. Jake Hawkins in the 37. Wow, what a group of cars on the track, Ben, for this first hot lap session.
29 cars signed in here tonight. They'll get these hot laps, then they'll head back to the pit area, and they'll get them tuned up for Renegade Race Fuels qualifying. And then we'll have 3 big heats here tonight and B-Main in the main event as the green flag is out and dirt draft hot laps underway here tonight at Tyler County Speedway as Castrol FloRacing Night in America comes to life here in West Virginia. It's been a cool afternoon, Dustin, but I tell you what, it's going to turn into a heck of a race night at one of my favorite bull rings anywhere you'll ever see.
Absolutely love the Tyler County Speedway as DirtDraft.com hot laps are underway. And for those of you watching back home live on Flow Racing, don't forget that tonight is the start of the Castrol FloRacing Night in America Fantasy Points Championship at Dirt Draft. The champion will receive a replica trophy at the end of the year. There will also be prizes for the top 10 in points, and the top 100 in points will receive bonus points toward the speed shop. And if you are not currently a member of DirtDraft.com, the promo code FloRacing will get new subscribers 50% off the first month. That is DirtDraft.com. Right now, Ben, it looks like Jonathan Davenport, the fastest driver in hot laps. The track record here is 1:2.120, set a few years ago by the Bristol Bullet Mike Benningham, and right now they aren't too far off from that.
Well, right now, Davenport actually under that track record, a 12:08. If that
oh, my.
Yeah, how about that? Davenport under the track record. Talking about practice, though.
It's
Talking about
practice, man. It's just practice.
Dirt Draft hot laps here tonight. The first wave of these Castrol FloRacing Night in America Super Late models head back to the pit area. Next wave of cars will make their way out, and the first car out will be car number 14T out of Clarksburg, West Virginia. Tyler Stutler, the Kryptonite Race Car Custom Racing Engine, Amsoil Schumann's Welding entry, and car number 14T. And we'll see who joins him out here on the racetrack. And it will be car number 17T of Tyler Evans out of Mineral Wells, West Virginia. The Evans Construction and Paving, a Mullins-powered Longhorn race car. And behind him, a guy looking for his 5th win of the year, Dustin.
It'll be the driver out of New Waverly, Texas, in the Best Performance Motorsports #1. It's Tyler Erb. Also on the track behind of him tonight, behind the wheel of the Bobby Lake Motorsports #27 out of Fairmont, West Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll be Jared Hawkins. Jared Hawkins behind the wheel of the 27.
And the 1G out of Seymour, Tennessee, making his debut here at the Bull Ring tonight in the PTSD Awareness Racing Noble Knight Construction Services Vic Hill Powered Warrior race car. It's Ryan King. And behind him, welcome back to action, the Gambler, Paul Wilmoth Jr. out of Clarksburg, West Virginia, the Rocket XR1 Midcap Land and Timber Schaefer's Oil B1.
One other driver on the track rolling down the back straightaway. He now calls Belmont, Ohio home in the Mullins-powered Kryptonite number 55C. That is Chad A. Smith. Chad Smith in the D7 Synthetics Elite Heating and Cooling. George Pappel Graphics, sponsor number 55C. Hot lap session number 2, Ben, is underway.
Dirt draft hot laps underway. And again, we talked about Jonathan Davenport. Fastest lap so far in hot laps under the track record, a 12:082. We'll see if that translates to Renegade Race Fuels qualifying coming up a little bit later. As right now, Drivers are getting a feel for this racetrack. A lot of rain fell here yesterday, Dustin, but they've done a great job on the racing surface, and right now you're watching your competitors work through the middle of the racetrack.
Yeah, a lot of water falling here yesterday. Water still laying in parts of the parking lot and the pit area, but John Watson and crew have got this track looking really, really good right now. Tyler Erb, the quickest in this dirt draft hot lap session with a 1:2.129. And right now, nobody is faster than that lap. Jonathan Davenport set of 1:2.08 again, which is under the track record in warm-ups.
Checkered flag drops on the speedway. We'll send that set of cars back. And as you said, Tyler Erb, the fastest car in that set. Those were two drivers that hit the ground running out in Arizona back at the Wild West Shootout. Davenport 3 wins out there, got part of that Kaiser $250,000 bonus. Turbo got 2 wins out there, then he got 2 down at East Bay. He's got 4 on the year entering the weekend. Entering tonight, I should say, and Jonathan Davenport with 5. Next set of cars coming to the Speedway, and the first driver out, the winner of a season opener here, the 47th year of racing at Tyler County Speedway. It's Kyle Thomas out of Pennsboro, West Virginia. The Punisher chassis, the Dodge Sporting Goods, Powell & Son Farms, the Pizza Box, car number 57. Rolling to the Speedway right behind him, that is going to be cart number 32B, and he's related to my partner in crime here this weekend, Dustin Jarrett. No, not Dustin Jarrett in the car, but his cousin, Brian Baumberger, out of Jacobsburg, West Virginia, the Property Management Services, Jacobsburg, Ohio, and the Property Management Services, Glessner Group, WRP powered number 32B.
Behind of him, one of the former mini wedge champions here at Tyler County Speedway, and the Stevens Motor Lines Elite Auto Sales sponsored Barry Wright race car number K7, now calling St. Clairsville, Ohio home. That is Kurt Burge. Kurt Burge, former mini wedge champion in the K7. Behind of him, the driver of the number 99B out of Bear Lake, Pennsylvania, in the Meridian Heartwood C&J Auto Transport, Corey Rubber sponsored number 99B. It's Boom Briggs.
Behind him, 2-time winner this year, former Hillbilly 100 winner, it's Josh Richards out of Shinston, West Virginia, the Clint Boyer Racing Rocket XR1 Cornet Thunder entry, and Kyle Larson in cart number 6, rolling out of 2 down the back straightaway, the Elk Grove, California driver in the Rumley Motorsports Hot Rod Septic Cornet powered Longhorn.
2 other drivers in this hot lap session. One is in the Cornet powered rocket out of Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania. The JLE Industry sponsored 25Z is Mason Ziegler, and also on the track in the Irvin Brown Racing Palmer's Funeral Home sponsored number 31. That is Travis Brown. Travis Brown out of Jacksonburg, West Virginia in the 31. DirtDraft.com hot lap session number 3. You have until qualifying is over to get your DirtDraft.com fantasy lineup set. And again, if you are not currently a member of Dirt Draft, use the promo code FLORACING. New subscribers will get 50% off the first month.
Mason Ziegler on the Speedway, feature winner already this year at Port Royal Speedway in car number 25Z. We talked about Kyle Thomas, the season opening winner here 2 weeks ago. Of course, Kyle Larson, he won the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series opener at All-Tech Raceway. And as you look to the top of the charts, how about that, Dustin? There's a new driver, fastest in hot laps. How about it? Young Money, Kyle Larson to the top of the leaderboard in car number 6.
At this point, are we surprised anymore? Tyler County Speedway, the fastest driver in hot laps now with a 1:2.019, Kyle Larson.
Jonathan Davenport, second fastest in that set. Josh Richards, I mean, it was only his first ever 2 laps around the Speedway, and he goes fastest. But tell you what, some heavy hitters coming out in this next wave of cars. And the first one out, the 157 car out of Winfield, Tennessee. Mikey Marlar, former World of Outlaws champion, the Delk Equipment Sells Rocket XR1 Cornet powered entry sponsored by Tri-River Enterprises. Behind him, the driver fresh off a big win at Bristol Motor Speedway with the World of Outlaws. It's Devin Moran in cart number 9. Devin Moran, the Clements powered Longhorn, the Ty Torg Motorsports number 9, rolling down the back straightaway.
Next driver on the track in the Suds Car Wash, AE Pistons VP Racing Fuels Cornet powered rocket chassis out of Richmond, Indiana. The C9 is Steve Casebolt. He's followed out by the driver out of Parkersburg, West Virginia, the 2019 Gateway Dirt Nationals champion in the Air Max Heating and Cooling, Holdren Incorporated sponsored Eisner powered Kryptonite. Number 28, ladies and gentlemen, that is Tyler Carpenter.
And in car number 81, and it looks like Greg Oak's going to head back to the pit area in the 22, the 81 of Tanner English out of Benton, Kentucky. The Riggs Drilling Solutions, Best One Tire and Auto, Cornet-powered rocket chassis. 3 wins on the year, all coming at Clarksville Speedway. Behind him in car number 71, Hudson O'Neill, 2-time winner on the year, current Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series points leader in the Cornet Lightning Rocket XR1 Double Down Motorsports entry. And final driver in the set, Dustin, out of Pond Gap, West Virginia, Kenny Rucker in the 457. Fastest lap we've seen so far in practice, 12:019, and DirtDraft.com hot laps. Get those lineups in. You have until the first heat race to get your DirtDraft.com lineups in. And Dustin, I think it's pretty cool. They have the season-long championship for the Castrol FloRacing Night in America through Dirt Draft. You want to be a part of that as well and pick up bragging rights and a cool trophy.
I'm going for it. I'm going for the trophy.
You
man.
should
I
not
want
be
that.
eligible. You should not be
Nope,
eligible.
I'm in. I already talked to the folks at Dirt Draft. I'm in. Hey, you know who else is in right now? How about Mike Marlar, 5th quick right now in warm-ups with a 1:22.97. Mason Ziegler, 6th quick with a 1:23.00. As these guys are laying down some very impressive lap times here in hot laps, and I believe that will conclude our DirtDraft.com warm-up session tonight. And the quickest driver in hot laps, of course, that doesn't pay anything, is indeed Young Money Kyle Larson out of Elk Grove, California, and that K&L Rumley number 6 with a quick time of 1:2.019.
Yeah, that was Jonathan Davenport, Josh Richards, Tyler Erb, and Mike Marlar, your top 5. As we get set to shift gears, Renegades of Dirt, they're lifting the lid on their 2021 campaign. 31 drivers signed in for tonight's Let It Ride 55, Dustin, and they are going to hot lap qualify as our drivers head back to the pit area and get ready for Renegade Race Fuels qualifying with the Castrol FloRacing Night in America cars.
31, as you mentioned, Renegades of Dirt Modifieds on hand here tonight. The first of a weekend triple header for those drivers. They leave here. They go to the Hilltop Speedway just outside Millersburg, Ohio tomorrow evening for twin 25s, paying $1,000 to win. And then Saturday night at Amish Hilltop,